Hey, you guys, welcome back to the I Am Precious podcast. I am Precious, and here on my channel, we talk about real life situations and the adjustments that are needed to better ourselves. Today's episode is dedicated to anyone who has ever lost someone in death. My thoughts, my prayers, my heart and soul is with you. A lot of us have been going through this feeling, this grief, and this loss, especially at such a traumatic time in life, right? With everything that's going on around us. I want you guys to take a second, and if you know anyone that can benefit from this podcast, please go and share it with them right now. I was inspired to do this talk because I have recently experienced the emotional energy from some of my loved ones who have lost people close to them in their family, in friendships, in death. And I can first-handedly tell you that it is the hardest situation to want to help someone and not be able to give the love and the comfort that they actually need. Now, it's important for us to understand that when people are going through a loss, there are so many things in them that they are going through. There are so many feelings that they have that they're trying to work through. And one of those main feelings is grief. Grief is something very hard to pull yourself out of, and it can last for a long, long time. But when someone we love dies, not only do we experience grief, but we also develop a sense of fear. And this fear can, in a lot of ways, take over our life or motivate us in how we interact with others, how we act toward others, and how close we allow ourselves to be with others. This fear can seep into losing ourselves in the pain and maybe even realizing that that pain may never go away. That fear may look like worrying that their laugh and the memory of who they are will perish along with their physical absence. There are so many emotions and thoughts that one has when they can never see their loved one ever again, when they can never be a part of their day, when they can never make that phone call, when they can never write that letter, when they can never open a door and walk in a room and feel the energy and the presence of that person. Grief makes the person feel isolated, alone, and broken. And it even causes us to be hesitant, again, in how close we're willing to be to others, building new friendships, relationships, because we don't want to feel the pain that is associated with loss. Now, grief looks differently for everyone. People's outlooks are different. But the loss is the loss, right? Their absence is still their absence. A lot of the time when we have someone who is going through this, when we have someone who is in such a devastated emotional state, we don't always know the right things to say. We don't always know the right things to do. And I wanted to give a couple of examples of things that we can do to help those that are around us, those that, we don't know what to say. We don't know what that person needs. So here we go. For one, we can sit with them, call them up, go to their house, ask them questions, tell them to tell you stories, allow them to share memories with you about the person that is gone. Allow them to feel good or cry or be mad or be angry. Show them that you care by reaching out to them. Now, a lot of times we as friends or family encourage the person to do things that can be more damaging than loving. And an example of that would be Maybe you should stop listening to, the songs that you guys listen to. Maybe you should pack up this person's stuff. Maybe you should take a different route home. But the truth is, love never dies. And although this person will get through this grief, the loss will never go away. Telling someone to remove things, to take away things that keep them close, that make them feel still alive within their heart, within their soul, is bad advice. In order for a person to truly grieve in a healthy way, it has to be in steps that are in alignment with them. This is why it's so important to encourage that person to express themselves, that person to tell the stories, that person to give what is needed to be given. Sometimes it may look like sitting with that person and not saying anything. I mean, half of the time, people really don't want to hear what you have to say. They don't want your opinion, and they may not even hear any of it, to be honest. It may go through one ear and out the other because they're in so much pain that they're not able to absorb anything else. Sometimes just being present, just being around, breathing that person's air, having someone sit beside you in your pain, supporting you, loving you, making you feel important, making you feel that you can be vulnerable, you can be open, you can cry, you can do whatever it is that you need to do, is the best thing for that grieving person. Now, when we make people feel like they need to grieve in a certain way, they can be pushed to different points of mental crisis. I mean, not only that, they're still going to mourn, right? But by telling them to remove these certain things, to change how they walk, to change how they talk, because this person is gone, it can actually cause them to mourn or grieve in an unhealthy way. When we shame people, when we make them feel like what they're doing is not the best idea, that it's not going to help them, that you should grieve differently, take it all away, remove it from your sight, your vision, and your ears, it's going to cause them to go into mourning and grieving alone. And that can be very unhealthy. Why? Because now that person is not vulnerable. They're not open. If they're truly in a crisis, if they truly need an intervention through what they're going through, you will never know. You will never know. And they will continue to still grieve and mourn and carry on with the things that they need for themselves. You've just excluded yourself from helping them. You have just taken yourself out of the truth path, and now you're placed in a, I know how to deal with you. I'm only going to tell you what I want you to know, if I even talk to you, until I get through this period. Right? We want to allow people to move with and through losses, not get over and put behind them. The truth is, when someone is gone, we yearn for them more. We yearn for their love, their laughter. We yearn to make new memories with them. We yearn to just have that last conversation, that last hug. We have to be willing to let those who are grieving understand the love and the comfort that we're trying to give. And we do that by honoring those who have passed away. Naturally, we are going to attach ourselves to the things that make us feel close to the people who are gone. Whether it's clothes, pictures, music, places, food. The memory does not have to die. The love will never die. You should always honor and respect those who have contributed to who you are. When those people die, when your loved ones are gone, a piece of you dies with that person. But the majority of the contribution that that person has given to you, if not all things, stays there. You are who you are from knowing them. You are who you are from experiencing their energy, their motivational words, their kindness, their giving ways, their caring ways. And who says that you have to let any of that go? Instead of looking to dismiss the grief, allow it to just be. And be willing to allow yourself to be present. Now, I want you to use the love and the meaningful experiences that you have gained from your loved one to move through and to push through. The pain will never go away. It will always hurt. But you will be okay. You can make it through this. You will make it through this. I know it hurts. I know that it has taken away from you. I know that you would trade anything else to have this one thing back, this one person back, this one feeling, this one memory, this one time back. But all of those things are inside of you. All of those things are in the way that you move and you talk. The memory, the real experiences, the mental, emotional, and spiritual connections live on forever. I hope that you found some encouragement in this podcast. I hope that you found some comfort in ways to comfort others. And I hope that you can truly take these different tips and apply them in your life for yourself and to help others. If you have any comments or suggestions on this video, please leave your comment down below. Please like this video, subscribe, and share it. And don't forget to turn on your post notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new podcast. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you here again soon.